Okay. Good boy. Good boy. Hey there. Hey, Joe. What's up? What's going on, my guy? How you, man? Happy New Year, first and foremost. Happy New Year to you as well. I'm doing swell. Thank you. Yourself? Oh, man, I'm chilling. I'm maintaining shit. I'm happy I got you here now, finally, man. Yeah, finally. It's been a long time coming. Yeah, man. Yeah, man, for the last time I seen you was Final Battle, Hammerstein Bournemouth. 2017. 2016 or 2017? I believe it was 17. Oh, so that was when Kyle O'Reilly won the belt. No, you know what? It might have been 16. Might have been 16. In fact, the Hardys beat the Young Bucks that night. Okay, yeah. That was, I remember that one. That was 2016. It was 16. Okay, all right. That was the last time I seen you, man. Word. So, Other than that, how you been otherwise, man? Let them know who you are if they don't know. Let them know who you are, man. What it is you do, man. Oh, everybody knows I'm the voice of a generation, Larry Legend. Master of ceremonies all over the land. 19 years in the game. Ring of Honor is the last time you saw me, but other credits include CZW, MCW, NYWC, GCW. VXS Wrestling, ICW No Holds Barred, Dragon Gate USA, Evolve Wrestling, yes, Recombination Wrestling. I can just go on and on and on. Not to mention all the things that I do in MMA and kickboxing and things of that nature. So if you don't know, now you know. Larry Legend and rocking the mic is what I do. Yes, sir. So let me ask you, we get shout to everybody tuning in too, man. Shout to y'all. Everybody share this video. Thanks for joining. Let me ask you, what inspired you? Fuck the age. What inspired you to get into it, man? Cause this is like a dream thing for me, man. It's a dream come true even interviewing you. It's about, what gave you the inspiration, man? Well, when I was growing up, I used to love wrestling like most of us. I used to love wrestling, but the part of wrestling that I used to like more than the actual fights was Gorilla Monsoon and Bobby the Brain Heenan or Jesse the Body Ventura and Tony Schiavone or Howard Finkel, like going over the rules of the Royal Rumble. All of those little parts of the show were what really hooked me. I was a big fan of Todd Pettengill and Doc Hendricks and all of the kind of backstage stick guys. And they were a big part of why I got hooked to wrestling. So, after a while, spending a lot of my mom's money and my own money, I was like, I got to start making some money off of this. I've got to start getting something back on everything that I've invested in it. So, shortly after I stopped college, I was at NYU. I joined a wrestling school here in Baltimore, Maryland called Bone Breakers. And I went there and I told the guys, I was like, hey, I don't think I have what it takes to be a wrestler. I don't think I'm disciplined enough to get in the gym and get my body looking like what it needed to be all the time. But I have a lot of things that I can bring to the table. And if you teach me some things, you'll get a return on your investment. So, it was really just like being into those parts of the show that weren't just the fights that inspired me to get involved. And also, a lot of the time growing up, I used to have people either compliment me on the way that I spoke or make fun of me about the way that I spoke. I had two different types of people that were always either encouraging me to keep on talking or speaking publicly, or like people who would be like, you talk funny, you talk white, or something like that. So, when things like that happen, when you have negative, you can turn that into a positive. And a lot of those people that used to tell me that, I don't know what they're doing with themselves. I don't see them anywhere, but I'm Larry Legend, and a lot of people have heard my voice and know who I am now. So, that was just my way of kind of honing in on what people always used to talk to me about my voice and using it, to make a name for myself. Yeah. Hey, Ayla! When I first heard you, that's how I heard you. You see what I'm saying? I never seen you, but I heard the voice. Yeah. So when I finally see you, I'm like, oh shit. First thing rung in my mind is what you said, how the critics are. I don't tell this man no shit like that, though. He doing what the fuck he doing. He doing what a lot of motherfuckers can't do. You understand what I'm saying? Let's get up on their ass and do something. Live their dream job.
Yeah.
My dream job, I ain't gonna lie. It's like you said, the same thing. Ain't physically fit to do how they're doing it, but my dream role right now, though, is to be creative. I want to be part of the creative team. Or I can be the in-ring comic, something like that. Like, you know. But, you know, I feel like I got some things to bring to the table, too, as far as ideas and things like that.
Well, I mean, a lot of people think that they have what it takes because they know what they like. But what I've learned over the past 19 years is that it's more about what everybody is going to like to make sure that they keep coming back. You know, to make sure that they keep coming back. And after a while, it really doesn't matter which wrestlers are even on the show. Just that wrestling is what is bringing people through the door. You know, so I guess in a lot of ways, you know, at first I wanted a hand in the creative, you know, kind of like, you know, booking the matches. But the more and more that I've gotten involved, the more and more I've realized that stuff doesn't matter. You know, it really doesn't matter. All that matters is that you have wrestling going on. And, you know, you have quality wrestlers and people will come back. People will never give up on wrestling as long as it's quality. You know, even regardless of, you know, that's always going to be kind of the icing on the cake is like, oh, the redemption story or, you know, the underdog, you know, snatches a victory like Spike Dudley or something like that. That's always going to be the icing on the cake. But at the end of the day, we really just want to make sure that we're promoting the event through the proper way so that people know about it, where it is, how to get tickets for it, telling a friend, and then coming in and hopefully buying the merch. Then you got the merch walking around the town, and that's an advertisement. Oh, what's that shirt? It's about to go down. Who's that guy? Oh, that's Larry Legend. You don't know about him? You got to come see him at the show, you know? So, yeah, at one point, I was with you, but also what I've learned a lot over the years is that, you know, that whole creative process of like, you know, the storylines and stuff like that, it's very, very stressful. Like you think it's like, oh, I'm gonna write some. No, it goes down to the wire. People have personalities. They have like, you know, pride, and it really can sometimes be a bothersome part of the thing, putting it all together like, okay, you win. It's something that after just viewing it and observing it, I don't really care enough to invest my energy in that. Just make sure that my mic works and that, you know, being a packed house, you know, and all that other stuff, Big Sean, all that other stuff is secondary.
Yeah, okay. Fact. So question, you being a black man, I mean, I probably heard this plenty of times before, but as far as you go, being a black man, in that business, racism. I don't want to ask you anything to get you, you know, caught up in anything. So if you can, you know, I'll understand the answer. But the best way you can put it, racism pretty much is an open book in that game also, right?
Well, I mean, you know, the themes of wrestling a lot of the times center around stereotypes. And that's for a very specific reason, because I think a lot of the times the people that are controlling the wrestling maybe actually subscribe to some of those stereotypes, and that's why it's always been a theme in wrestling. So I've experienced explicit and kind of, you know, under the surface racism my entire career, you know, but at the end of the day, I think that it's more important for people of color to hear me and see me as much as they can in the roles that I've been in to counter, like, maybe, you know, Coco Beware, you know, or The New Day, like, and nothing against any of those, but, you know, they're like dancing, you know, jigging about characters, you know, well, we need Byron Saxton's up there too, and we need Booker T's up there too, and we need Larry Legend's up there too. So, yeah, racism is abundantly in the industry, and not just as an African American, just as people of color and also as women. You know, women as well, or it's not racism, but sexism and misogyny and classism. All of those things are themes in wrestling that drive the drama, and also they kind of permeate the people that are in it. As much as I guess a lot of us would like to say we don't subscribe to those things, we know it works, and we know what the fans want to see, and we know it gets a reaction. So, doing a match that's like a Brock Lesnar, who's a huge white man, against a Bobby Lashley, who's a huge black man, is a theme that people want to see. So it's just kind of it comes with the territory, but it's kind of like, a while back, Jay-Z was all talking about how in his rhymes, how, he's like a secret operative, like he's just going to play the game as much as he has to until he gets up there to control things. And in a lot of ways, I like to take that approach as well. I'm not controlling things just yet, but, with my influence and all of the circles that I run in, I've been able to kind of make a lot of, decisions, as far as like, marketing and social media strategies and who we're going to bring in and, why we're teaming up this guy, with that guy and who's that benefit and things like that. So, little by little, you just chip away at kind of that big mountain of bigotry and prejudice. And who knows, the next generation might not have to deal with as many things as the generation before it.
Okay, right. Yeah, we're here with Larry Legend, man.
Hey, John.
Great,
no problem, bro.
Man, thanks for tuning in. For the people out there tuning in, thanks for tuning in. Share, like, please, subscribe, comment. In fact, y'all ain't got any questions for the legend, man?
Man.
Don't put all on me. Shit, man. We brought the man here. Let's have fun. Let's have fun with it. Yeah. But somebody did say, thank you for something.
Oh, yeah, that was John Campbell. He was at CCW last night. CCW had a show in Maryland, and his friend Chrissy, she had one too many to drink. So she was kind of a mess. And, while we were trying to get her together, the show was going on. We wanted to watch the show, but, we had to kind of lend a helping hand because she had one too many to drink. So I helped him out with her. So, she wouldn't be, like, on the floor.
Yeah, all right. Okay. So I didn't know what. Let's let everybody get their questions. Okay, there we go. Televivo. So are you ready for your fight at H2O?
I haven't been more ready for a fight than my entire life. Very rarely do I get physically involved as an announcer. Very rarely do I get physically involved where I'm either fighting or doing something like that. But it's funny that I mentioned what I mentioned about paving the way and kind of like the next generation. There's a young ring announcer called Chad Spectacular, and he's been doing a lot of really impressive things, putting together these charity shows that benefit like the Trevor Project and Second Floor Youth Helpline for LGBTQ youth that don't have anywhere to turn. And being a member of that community myself, Chad has helped and asked me to help him out with getting some of those shows together and off the ground and promoted. And he is promoting the next one of these, which will be on March 19th. It's called Throwdowns and Pronouns, Chad's Spectacular Soiree number 2. I'm actually going to be in the ring competing with my team against Chad and his team and against Tara Calloway and her team. So, John, yes, I am ready for my fight at H2O. And yes, I will channel my inner Pazuzu. And Chad is going to get taken to the learning tree, and I'm going to whoop him. So, yeah, I'm ready for that.
You heard that, Chad?
And if Tara gets in my way, then she already knows I might have something in my back pocket for her, too. Yeah, so I'm ready to go. I'm ready to go because, Chad, as much as I'm proud of everything that he's doing, he's kind of the millennial, the shuffle generation, I call them. They can't listen to a whole album. They got to shuffle through everything, Spotify. Not to run anybody down, but you know what? It takes a while before you can get to where I am. I'm 19 years in. And along the way, you got to face a lot of adversities. Well, the adversity he's going to be facing is the fact that I am a trained wrestler. I'm 100% trained, and he doesn't know that. He thinks that I'm just an announcer and that I can't do the dance. Well, he's going to find out on March 19th, and I'm making a point that he and I are in the ring together. I'll fight anybody, but I'm going to make a point that Chad and I are in the ring together so that I can beat some respect into him.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes,
Yes,
sir.
I am,
Yes.
David. I am fired up, and you better be there on March 19th, David.
Is it going to be where's it going to be? How's it going to be playing? How you going to have it, like
It's going to be at H2O, Matt Tremont's facility in Williamstown, New Jersey. You know, Matt Tremont runs a school, and he also runs shows out of the H2O Wrestling Academy, aka the Kevin Hogan Memorial Hall. So, you know, all you got to do is follow me on Instagram or Twitter. I'll be putting out, you know, the graphics for that show, and it's March 19th. I'm not sure what day of the week that is, but maybe a Saturday, more than likely. And yeah, the main event is going to be my team versus Chad's team versus Terrence's team, and all of the team members are being announced. I'm going to announce mine probably tomorrow. So yeah, it's gonna be an extravaganza, which is what any event that I'm a part of is.
Fact. Fact. With that being said, for me though, I want to give a shout out to Nyla Rose, Sunny Kiss.
Yes, indeed.
You know what I'm saying? Those that's that's in the life doing their thing on the ring, man. Fuck that, man. I watch wrestling, and I don't give a fuck about none of that. I mean, it is what it is. But as far as being a part of that community, though, have you been receiving any backlash, trolling, shit like that?
You know, one of the things is I try to like stay out of like chatter on social media. Like my social media is specifically for advertising which show I'm hosting next and why you should be there to see it. Like, so I really don't get involved in kind of like, you know, making like comments on politics or things like that. Like, if you know me, then you know me, and you know the way that I feel about things. I don't need to use a platform like Twitter or Facebook or Instagram to kind of engage people in that kind of talk, when really wrestling is kind of, in a way, supposed to distract you from those things so that you can lose yourself in the moment of, like, you know, the choreography and all of the pageantry, the announcer. So no, I haven't had anyone really troll me specifically. I've had people that have kind of tried to incense me by kind of pointing out glaring things that are happening, like, you know, Bianca Belair losing the damn title in a 20-second match to Becky Lynch and never even, I guess, kind of caring about getting the belt back. Or, you know, I just had a friend of mine who I haven't talked to for years who messaged me this morning and was like, I cannot believe that Big E already lost the belt in such a kind of throwaway fashion, and or the scuttlebutt that just happened with Tony Khan and Leo Rush and Big Swole. Like, so I'll have people that kind of like try to put that in my path, I guess, to get me to like be like, yes, this is wrong and all that. But you know how people who know me know the way that I feel about these things. And if you want to talk to me about it specifically, there's a way of going about it. And just putting that out in the universe is not my style. Right? It's that's clout chasing, in my estimation. And I'm not out chasing any clout. I'm here to promote the wrestling, primarily the wrestling that I'm featured on. So that's what you're getting out of my social media. Yeah. You know? Someone just asked, seriously, Larry, how faded are you right now?
I was about to read that too. I was just about to read that.
Yeah, I'm about to get even more faded, but I'm pretty good. I'm pretty far gone. It was snow in Baltimore today, so it was a pretty chill day.
Yes, I'm out here in Buffalo.
You're in Buffalo?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I love Buffalo. I love Buffalo. Whenever I would go to Toronto with Ring of Honor, we would always fly into Buffalo and drive over the border.
Okay.
I guess it was cheaper.
Yeah.
Then flying internationally, because technically if you fly to Canada, it's an international flight. So we would fly to Buffalo, and then we'd rent a car and drive to Toronto.
Okay.
Yeah.
Will there be any events, any coming this way anytime soon that you can think of? Or that you...
Well, I'll tell you this much. I just realized, and this is just my own self, I just realized that Tid the Season was not too long ago from the Buffalo Riverworks. The Riverworks over there, where a lot of wrestling has come from. Ring of Honor was over there at a point. Black Cult Wrestling was over there. But I don't have any scheduled dates up in Buffalo anytime soon. The next thing that I have is in New Jersey this Friday. It's BXS, No Peace Underground, Already Dead. and that'll be streamed on Fight TV. So that's the next time you can see me. And then after that, No Holds Barred 21 on January 22nd in Newark, New Jersey. So I have two New Jersey gigs coming up in the month of January. So I'll be looking forward to heading back up to the Garden State.
Okay.
And I'll be looking forward to heading back up to Buffalo whenever we get up there.
Okay. All right. Somebody said that'd be lit as fuck. Reckless Addict, 42.
Reckless Addict.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's Chris. I guess Chris from down Florida, I'm guessing. Yeah, man. So, what other questions do you have for me? Or does anyone have any questions for me that's tuning in?
Maybe they ask a question, might help me out with one. Your funniest experience in Ring of Honor, like just with someone famous, like
wait, Chris Sherman, my bad. What's up?
One of your funniest moments.
Funniest moments?
Let me say that with somebody like Dalton Castle.
I never really had any funny moments with Dalton. I'll tell you a funny moment I had with Ring of Honor ring announcer Bobby Cruz. One time we did a show in New York, and when we got to the building,
I said, I hear you, but that's my girl.
Okay, you good. One time we did a show in New York, and I went to go get a haircut at my barber shop up in the Bronx because I wanted to look fresh. I wanted to look fresh for the event. But it took forever. And I even tried to get a cab to get back to Manhattan, which was a big mistake because I was taking longer than the train. And I eventually got there, and fans had already started being let in. Fans had already started being let into the Hammerstein Ballroom, which is what I'm supposed to do. Ladies and gentlemen, we got all the New Japan Wrestling stars downstairs. Meet the Young Bucks and meet Cody Rhodes. Meet all of the stars downstairs. So that's going on, and I'm trying to get back to the Hammerstein Ballroom. So Bobby Cruz was doing it for me. He was doing all of that, like, welcome everyone to the Hammerstein Ballroom for Ring of Honor Wrestling Live. He was doing all of that for me, and I ran over to him behind the curtain, and when I pulled the curtain back to let him know I was here to take over that for him, I immediately crashed into him, and my hand kind of cupped his balls. And the thing about it was he didn't have any pants on because he was actually it was really bad. It wasn't funny. It was really bad because I was late getting my hair cut. Bobby was out doing my job with no pants on behind the curtain. So the funny part is that when I come around the curtain to get the mic from him, I kind of grabbed his balls, and he goes, he has a real thick Massachusetts Boston accent. He's like, you just grabbed my peck out, and I'm like, yeah, sorry. I just ran in here from getting my hair cut. You can go get dressed and I'll do this. Give me the mic. So that was kind of funny for a lot of reasons because Bobby didn't have any pants on and I was racing to get there, and like you said, I almost grabbed his peck. So yeah, that's probably the funniest story that I can think of off rip from my time at ROH.
Wow. How I got there was through my boy. Shout to him too, man. Prince Nana.
Oh yeah, Prince Nana from Ghana.
Yeah. Oh
yeah, he was the major way that I got there too. I met him finally doing an ICW show in 2010. I was doing an ICW show in Queens. It was actually a tryout. I wasn't even doing the show. I just was announcing the CZW guys. There were 6 CZW guys that were on the show, and I kind of was doing their matches. And I eventually would get hired by ICW to be the announcer But that's when I finally met Prince Nana, and he was like, you should come to one of the ROH shows. And he was like, I can't guarantee you anything, but if you never come, and be seen, then you'll never get anywhere with them. So, yeah, he was like, just come, let them know at the door that you're here with me, and, just come to the back. And I finally took his advice at Ring of Honor Final Battle 2012 when it was Steen versus Generico, Ladder War at the Hammerstein Ballroom. That's the first time that I came there, just kind of to check things out. And Nana was nowhere to be found when I got to the building, but Billy Caputo, R.I.P. Billy Caputo, legendary former WWF referee from Madison Square Garden, he had just arrived too, and I think he was the doctor. I think he was the doctor for that show. So he saw me and he's like, "What are you doing here?" And I was like, "Oh, Prince Nana told me I should come. He said, just come down." So here I am. And he's like, "Oh, well, come in with me." And Billy was the one who got me in the door as kind of like a guest for the first time that I ever was at a Ring of Honor show. But Prince Nana was the one who encouraged me to come on down. So, yeah, he's instrumental in a lot of our careers and just kind of encouraging us to, seize the moment and don't wait around for it.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely try to get in my head with, things outside of wrestling. But yeah, that's my guy, man. Matter of fact, when I first came, that was one of the times I first met you. You had the red jacket on with the glasses, the bow tie. Yeah, got me right in through the back. I started the phrase Cody Baby Mama there.
Cody Baby Mama?
Every time I saw Brandy, I said it to her. Cody Baby Mama. The whole locker room, everybody, whoever was there. At that time when I said that shit, fell the fuck out laughing. The whole back on the floor. And it just never stopped from there.
Yeah. Well, you kind of were predicting the future.
Yeah. Yeah. Matter of fact, long before she had that baby too, when I was saying that shit, I was just saying it to be funny. Then he brought the dog one time with him.
Yeah, Farrah.
Yeah.
Here's a question. Who is my dream announcement that I've never done before? Good question, Chris. Dream announcement that I've never done before. I would like to announce I'd like to announce both Bryan Danielson and CM Punk. And with one of those guys, I just missed my opportunity to do Danielson. During the time that he had gotten fired from WWE, he kind of started bip-bopping around and doing a couple indies. I think this was 2011. 2011, he was just doing indies, and he actually was making a lot of money. And one of the indies that he did was NYWC, and I was the announcer for NYWC, but because I asked for too much money, they let me go. They let me go, and they let one of their students be the announcer because they got a free announcer out of one of their students who was actually paying them to be there. So I missed my opportunity way back in 2011 to announce Danielson, but that would be a dream announcement. Against CM Punk would even be a bigger dream.
Wow. Yeah. Hell yeah. That's the ching. That's the ching. David DN 36. He said Prince Nana the embassy. Yeah, he is a manager at embassy. Matter of fact, he's running the embassy over there in AEW. Rest in peace, Jimmy Rave too.
Yeah, the legend Jimmy Rave. We lost him.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's David. David Russell. He's a buddy of mine. I don't get to see him as often, but shout out David Russell. Who would I like to see in the chains? Easy. Who would I like to see in the chains? Ruckus. I want to see Ruckus in the chains. As a matter of fact, I want to see Ruckus in the chains versus Neil Diamond Cutter. I don't think that match will ever happen, but that is a match that if I were running ICW No Holds Barred, I would book. Ruckus versus Neil Diamond Cutter in the chains. That's what I would book if I was running ICW. Yep.
All right, here's a question for you. Both AEW and WWE come to you for the deal. Who you going to?
Neither one. It's not.
It might be a reason behind that.
Yeah.
It can be a very big reason behind that.
Okay. You know, nobody's really happy there. You know, all of my friends that go to either one of them, they're happy when they're doing like the indies, the hard stuff. Yeah. But when they get up there, number one, none of them make a ton of cash. Like, so you're not really making as much money as you think just because you're on TV. And number two, it's like, if it's anything like my time with Ring of Honor, it's like, it's very stressful. It takes the fun out of what probably got you into doing it to begin with out of it. It becomes a thing of like, oh, I don't want to lose my job, as opposed to like, I want to go out there and have good matches. So I'm good on both of those. I don't feel that WWE is a healthy environment on anyone's mental health, and I feel that AEW has the potential to be even worse. I actually don't talk to a lot of the AEW people that that I'm familiar with, but I see them often because they let their guys do indies, so it's not too uncommon for me to be around those guys, and they all seem like, whatever, like nobody's like really balling.
Okay, say that, and that's where, a lot of them motherfuckers that's there, you've been around them. I was there to witness that. Like, come on, ain't nobody trying to make it left for the... I don't know, these are things that I was thinking. I also thought that about now. Next thing you know, the bam, he did. He ain't dark, but he did.
Yeah, dark isn't really shit. Like, dark is just like, hey, come do a match. It's not AEW, that's dark.
Yeah.
Like one of the things that about me is like, I'm really not gonna bullshit you like about what it is. Like I'm not gonna pretend like, anything is the end all be all to help you further the narrative. If it ain't shit, it ain't shit. So it's like a lot of those shows, like, they kind of, like, have, like, an exterior that, oh, this is the big time. But underneath it all, it's just the shows at the Elks Lodge. Or, like, it's just the little shows, the bingo hall shows, just with, like, a way bigger budget and unlimited cash flow to put that TV gloss over it.
Wow. Welcome to the most entertainment show. Welcome to the most entertainment show. We giving it to you raw. We giving it to you raw here. We got Larry Legend, legendary ring announcer Larry Legend, man. Word. Appreciate having you. Okay, man.
Yeah, man. I see a lot of people are joining. What up?
Yeah, I see. I'll shout to y'all. Shout to those that's joining. Nobody got questions.
In the building.
The damn
Rod
questions.
Big Rod checking me out. Yeah, I'm just chilling, like, talk. Larry Legend is the true legend. Indeed, Frank. You're right behind me, brother. You've been doing it a couple years yourself now, god damn it.
Yes, sir.
Love you back, Frank. Franklin Picard Jr. Hey, shut that noise up. You're not getting anything. It's my cat.
Not an AARP member? The Harvard can help you join in minutes.
Yeah. Shut that
Well then. Shit. You should see the battered woman's shoulder I got over here. Breaking versus Only Classic, somebody said.
Oh, that would be a good one. Frankie Picard versus Eddie Only. The two smokingest motherfuckers of cigarettes that I know in the game.
Don't forget, what's his damn name? Silas. Silas is a cigarette smoking motherfucker too. Silas Young?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Ooh. Silas helped smoke me out of 2 pack of Newports, and I'll never forget it.
Yeah. For him, it's like food.
And Marty Skull.
Yeah, after a while, cigarettes become like food.
Yeah. Him and Marty Skull.
Oh, Marty. Yeah. Wonder how he's doing.
They got him. I seen him. Maybe it could have been a bounce around thing for him. They featured on
something. Wow. Frankie had the match with Eddie only. Oh wow! I didn't even know. I'm gonna have to check that out. No, that's news to me. I didn't know that Frankie fought Eddie only in a ladder match at H2O. I'm gonna have to check that out. Okay, Chris. I didn't catch up to the fact that you said it was classic. I thought you were saying that's a match that we should do.